Ken Longfellow reckons it's really Buckfast. Is it Buckfast, Jack?
I can't remember the name. It starts with a Z. It's like
Zinfandel?
ZW something.
Is it from Asda by any chance? Or did you
I
have
don't
it
know. I
imported?
didn't buy it. Just
Tell
I
me
don't
if you
know.
brought it in.
It's ZW if that helps, and then I think.
Well, while you're figuring out the name of the wine, what can we do it like in the style of a radio show? So why don't you load up one of those sexy tracks for us, Jack? Take us right back to 2011 with the Gorms and Walter Scott's classic Bonnie Dundee.
To the Lords of Convention 'twas Claven House spoke, ere the King's crown go down, there are crowns to be broke, and each cavalier who loves honour and me, let him come for these bonnets side, Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men, unhook the Westport and let us go free. For it's somewhere the bonnet's so Bonnie Dundee. Dundee is mounted, he rides up the street. Oh, the bells they ring backwards, the drums they are beat. And the provost of man, he says, just let him be. For the tune is well read, oh, that devil Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men. Unhook the Westport and let us go free. For it's somewhere the bonnet's so Bonnie Dundee. There are hills beyond Pentland and lads beyond Forth. Be the lords in the south, there are chiefs in the north. There are brave Dooney wassels 3,000 times 3. Cried hey for these bonnets I, Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men. Unhook the Westport and let us go free. For it's somewhere the bonnet's so Bonnie Dundee. And awa tae the hill, tae the lee and the rock. In Iona usurp and I'll couch with the fox. Tremble false wigs in the midst of your clay, for you've no say the lass o' my bonnets and me. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, come saddle my horses and call out my men. Unhook the Westport and let us go free. For it's somewhere the bonnet's so Bonnie Dundee.
Way, Duncan, I would put money on it. I would put money. There's no way Drew Galloway loses to Bill Goldberg in the Royal Rumble on Sunday.
Well, you say that, but when was the last time you won any money gambling? I'm not gonna.
I've actually, you're right, I've mispredicted every referendum and election in the entire history of our lives. So I would say Bill Goldberg is going to win.
And you
Goldberg is a winner.
You also said the year 2020 was going to be the best one yet.
Anyway, we better get ready. I'm sure that song's almost finished now.
Oh, we're live. Ah.
Oh no, we're live.
Didn't see you there.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that song from the past there, folks. Bonnie Dundee by the great Sir Walter Scott. If you have travelled to Edinburgh, then no doubt you've seen the wonderful Scott Monument. And you've probably seen the what's the big house in the middle of the town called again?
You mean the castle?
That's right, Edinburgh Castle, which is where after a run of very successful battles, Graham of Claverhouse, who would be known to some parts of Scotland as Bloody Clavers because his hands were stained with blood, but known to other parts of Scotland as Bonnie Dundee. Graham of Claverhouse, he was captured briefly and held captive in Edinburgh Castle. And in that song, it speaks about open the West Port, let me go free. So the West Port is the West Gate in Edinburgh. And it was always quite nice back in the days gone by, 2019. We used to play that song on the Royal Mile of Edinburgh. And we're singing about Dundee as he escapes from the castle out through there's a murder hole, it's called. You can actually see it from the castle on the south side. He escapes from the castle. He goes galloping down the Royal Mile. And we'd sing that song with the Royal Mile right behind us. I remember that.
We would go galloping down as well, singing it.
Of course. With my kilt on.
Many times.
And we had a little slideshow. I hope people enjoyed that. We had some photos from our first album photograph session, which was taken in a pub called Slanjava, which unfortunately closed down. But then I think there was also a couple of photos from us playing live early gigs. So Duncan, we figured out when our very first gig was. Have you got that info there?
I do have that info. It was away back in 2008, July the 15th to 2008. And it was in the Canonsgate, if you remember, the pub that I used to work in, which is how we got the gig in the first place. On a Tuesday night, and we got, at the time, something like 2 pints each per night.
2 pints each and a couple of quid.
It was good, like.
Some small amount of money, token gesture.
Remember our PA system caught fire in that pub.
It did. It started smoking. It was an old Watkins Electronics Manufacturing speaker stack system that I'd borrowed off my dad, and somehow we managed to overload it and smoke was coming into it. It was great.
The pub was evacuated.
This is like the audience of 7 people in this smoking speaker system at the other end of the pub.
I also remember in that pub there was I'll have to change his name for the sake of identity. Stewart Wilkins. He was a very large man who challenged you to a bagpiping competition.
That's right.
Did you get in a fight or something like that?
No, we never got in a fight. We had an argument.
No, you didn't. That's right. You definitely didn't get in a fight, actually.
Were you sober at the time?
Probably not. If it was anywhere near a pub, you know.
And you used to sing "The Evil Scotsman" by Billy Conley.
I did. I tried.
I'm an evil Scotsman. My name is Jock. And the girls are all gagging for a portion of my 10-inch.
Beep.
Stuart Wilkins.
Stuart Wilkins.
Yeah, I don't know how we ever got offered any more gigs after that. It was because the manager of the Canongate was a drunkard and moved to another pub and then offered us a gig. That's what happened, right?
It all just happened in a blur.
I can't remember.
As far as everyone was concerned.
I remember all very clearly.
2008, it was a long time ago. There's been many gigs since then.
Barack Obama was the president and David Cameron was the prime minister. Is that right?
No, it must have been Bush, surely.
It was Bush, I think.
Yeah, must have been.
Good old days. Eh?
Well,
they were the good old days.
Yeah.
Bush and Blair.
Let's. I'm going to have a little read through some of the comments, see what everyone's saying. Don't want to ignore them. So, how far did you get, Duncan? You got to Ken saying it's Buckfast.
Well, Duncan, can you read them out? I mean, you're pretty good at that. You know, Jack in his Arctic lab. I wasn't all that enamored with it.
Maybe it's the cold air chilling his voice.
This is why the internet connection was so bad last time. Me in the Arctic. It's all running through my system.
3,000-mile long Ethernet cable.
Right, let's get these messages.
Right, so following on from your red wine chat, Andreas is saying next time we're in Koblenz, he'll get you some decent red wine. Chris Riley's asking, we were talking about Slanjava, he's asking if it's a tiki bar now. It was 52 Canadian.
It was, yeah, it did change to that. Yeah,
it changed again.
I've got no idea what it is now.
No idea.
Well, it's obviously not open now. Whatever it is.
No,
I remember they had a drag party the night they closed down, and we drank the place dry. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we took part with great gusto.
And Martin Andrews played live music. If you're looking for any like a decent thing to listen to, folks, as opposed to this, have a look for Martin Andrews, Edinburgh. You'll find him on YouTube, a legend of the Edinburgh music scene.
He played in Whiskey Bar on a Saturday. For anyone that's been at the Whiskey Bar. Any more comments?
Yeah, Federica Mirasola said, can't wait to see you live again. One of the best memories I have, first evening in Edinburgh. So thank you, Federica.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Dankeschön.
Blatz Mertzich, Saturday in Ensign Ewart, you rocked. Cheers, man. And yeah, that's our comments so far. Hopefully my pronunciation was as good as yours.
Great dictation there, Duncan.
Should we play another tune then? Would anyone like to hear a tune?
I'd love to hear a tune. Is it from the same era, this one?
It is. I've kept them together, you know, so you can go on a journey with me.
That first album, recording that was a whirlwind. It was 18 tracks in 7 hours or something.
Yep.
One of them. Let's do another one of them.
Okay, here we go. Well, the next track is Roy's Wife, Fial de Valach. Anything you'd like to say about that?
I don't know if we're allowed to. Is there an age restriction on this video? It's about a chap who's if you're interested, the relationship, have a look at that famous interview Sean Connery did.
Right, okay. Does that tell you stuff about it?
I think so.
All right. Right, here we go. Roy's Wife. Enjoy.
Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. Davy Gordon O'Carkill and Johnny Gordon O'Carsalach, watching how she cheated us as we came o'er the breeze of Valach. Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. As we came toddling o'er the breeze, Roy get Belgian through the Valach, waiting for the faithless wife, she's on the road to Elda Valach. Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. As we come in the bog, Roy get Belgian through the Valach, Roy's wife, with a wheel, she's welcome him to Elda Valach. Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. Ye would call the Cabinet Queen, free Orniston and tea the Valach, you only find say swagger queen is Roy's wife, oh well de Valach. Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. Oh, she is a canty queen, and wheel she can dance the Highland Wallach. We tap the tasty, tight and clean, it's Roy's wife, oh well de Valach. Oh, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. Her hair so faded in so clear, and we would move so sweet and bonny. Maybe she ever will be dear, she's taken the hump and left her Johnny. Oh, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze of Valach. Roy's wife is scarce 16, her days are yet of leaving money. Rice is all he's turned again, she's taken the hump and left her Johnny. Oh, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated me as I came o'er the breeze. Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, Roy's wife, oh well de Valach, watching how she cheated us as we came o'er the breeze of Valach.
Well, we'd like to share with you a song now by the great Scottish poet, a man called Jim Weir. The song is called Where Was I Last Night?
And we're live again.
Hey, welcome back, folks. I do hope you enjoyed that track, and I hope wherever you are in the world right now, remember there's someone waiting for you back home that loves you. You're listening live to the Gorms on Facebook. We'd like to take you to the next track here. Beautiful anthem. It's called Johnny, I Hardly Knew You. Enjoy.
While on the road to Sweeneth, I hurrah, hurrah. While on the road to Sweeneth, I hurrah, hurrah. While on the road to Sweeneth, I with a gun in my hand and a glint in my eye. A darling damsel, it's my Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the eyes that look so mild, when my heart you first beguiled. Oh, why did you run from me and my child, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your rum singers, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. God almighty, what a rocket. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are the eyes that look so mild, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the legs you used to run, hurrah, hurrah. Where are the legs you used to run when first you left to carry a gun? Your dancing days are surely done. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't got an armour like hurrah, hurrah. You haven't got an armour like hurrah, hurrah. You haven't got an armour like your nose is pulled, this chicken was egg. Well, after bit out a boulder peg, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Guns and drums, your drums and guns, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, hurrah, hurrah. Your guns and drums, your drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya.
Hey, excellent, excellent. God, did you enjoy that track, Duncan?
Oh, yes, oh, yes. Haru, haru.
Yourself, Jack, you like that one, or are you too busy with Delamitri again?
No, it's a rousing one, that. Gets you going.
Where does it come from?
Well, we were just discussing that.
So we were.
I think you said before that American Civil War, maybe the era. I think it's definitely American, but I'm not really sure.
And then sort of made its way back here through the folk scene.
When I've been over in the States, I've heard it loads and loads and loads, and it seems to be much more in the consciousness there than here. So I don't think it's a Scottish or Irish tune. But I don't really know.
The tune
could be, but I don't think the words are. I think it's from.
Well, the words are in part Scottish and Irish, because it's talking about a thigh and places like that.
Yeah, but there's those kind of place names all over the States as well.
I guess so. Yeah. So maybe it started over here, Scotland or Ireland. We should have probably looked into this before. Scotland or Ireland. Maybe it made its way over to the States, because there's that monument in Edinburgh for all the Scottish and Irish soldiers that died fighting in the American Civil War, because they were on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So I guess because the people that were fighting in that war were from a lot of different places in Europe. So I guess it rose to prominence over there, maybe came back, the words changed a little bit. A lot of editing over the years. A bit like the Bible, I guess.
Aye.
Basically, it's the Bible. Right.
Well, that makes more sense.
I've got a couple of comments here. Helen... Oh, did you go through these ones? I can't remember what your last one was. Yeah, now a tiki bar. Can't wait to see you live again. Saturday at Ensign, you rocked. Okay.
Somebody's proposing that they bring some nice red wine from Washington State.
Eric J. Misby, thank you.
So there you go.
And Florian Barlow says, hi guys.
Hi, Florian.
Chris Warham says, aye lads, the Bankery Massive are listening in.
Cheers, chef.
Cheers,
always
man.
good to hear from you. Well, I'm not a million miles away. If you do fancy a walk up tonight to the Hutchison Memorial Bothy, then I'll be here. We've got a bit of cold, so it's not too cold. Washington State, that's in the north
west. Northwest, aye.
Top northwest, right? Is that the most northwest?
Yes, it's next to Canada on the west coast.
Is that the one which is so northwest that it's also the most east?
No, that's Alaska.
I always get them confused.
Easy done, I suppose.
Mark Watson, yo dudes, trying to watch with Chef and Brown Pants, but these losers are having tech problems. Oh, hey man, how you doing?
We know how that goes. We weren't doing so well last week ourselves.
Tell us if the tech is working on our end.
Chopper.
Ken Longfellow, indeed, when Johnny comes marching home. That's the tune that it was based off.
Hey Ken, I hope you're doing well. I hope you. I sent you an email. It took a long time to write, so I hope you appreciate that and stop sending me inflammatory messages. All right. I'm joking.
Chris Riley says Johnny I Hardly Knew You is 18th, 19th century Irish, written about the wars in Ceylon, Sri Lanka.
All right. Google Riley. Thanks for tuning in again.
You learn something every day.
That's great.
Eric J. Misby, yep. And Chris Brown, you're all thuds. Can he get the stream to work?
Good.
Well,
it doesn't work unless you donate money. That's how it works, as far as I'm aware.
You go to the next tier where it starts to get smoother with the stream.
The backflipping frog level.
Well, you know, every week we like to try our best to get a local to our Gorms family, Chuch, that's where we're from, and we try and get a company to sponsor us every week. We've been trying that so far. We haven't had much luck, but last week we got this amazing offer to present to you something about a Scotch pie, which was really good, really fun to do.
Very well received.
I hope you liked it. It was, of
we
course,
got a lot of positive feedback on that one. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but a lot of positive feedback on that one. So I'm pleased I could help out with that. You know,
I thought it was pure mince.
It was just like Gorms banter, of course.
Just like Gorms banter, aye.
But this week, I feel like we're going up in the world.
What have we got this week?
Well, let's just put the ad on, shall we? See if people like it.
A word from our sponsor.
Here we go.
Bread. The best thing since it was first sliced. Bread goes with everything. Bread and butter, bread and cheese, it goes with everything. But in these grey times, why not spice up your life? Why not try some shortbread?
Shortbread?
Not shortbread. Shortbread. Get your laughing tackle round some shortbread. Taste the tartan.
Well, what do you think of that, folks? Taste the tartan.
Taste the tartan.
And get your laughing tackle around some shortbread.
Some shortbread, aye.
Well, just it was quite. So I didn't actually tuned out the advert. I'm sure was pretty good. We ran it by the pre-screening team earlier, and they seemed happy enough with it. So a few edits were made. But just while it was playing there, actually, we had a bit of a sighting up here at the Hutchison. So Gwamel just came in to tell me a little bit about it. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have brought it up. It was actually a drone. It was just a drone that somebody was flying, presumably from Balata or something like that. Yeah, I didn't really need to tell you about that. I guess too much. One of those police drones. You know, there've been a lot of those flying around recently up here in Scotland. So,
what are they doing?
I guess they're probably watching the weird bunch of people that are sitting at the Hutchison Memorial Bothy. I would imagine. But there've been a lot of those sighted recently. There was one in Cumnock, a place that's very dear to your heart, Jack. So yes,
yeah, featuring in our film that was on last week.
But it wasn't a UFO. It was briefly a UFO, but now it's identified. So it's
just an FO. It's an FO.
It is an FO, like a goose, for example, would be
flying object.
An FO.
Yeah.
Or a paper airplane.
Or a paper airplane, yeah.
Would briefly be an FO.
So,
but if we do have any tic tacs or anything unusual, I will let you know. So I'm sorry. As you were saying about the advert, I hope the advert was well received. Did you like it,
let me have a look.
Oh,
Duncan, are there any comments about the ad? Or any comments that I've not read out so far?
I don't know if I can read any of these.
Or no, are they getting read? What are people saying?
Well, there's emojis and people wanting to taste our tartan.
Right, let's go back here. Let me have a look.
Roll the advert again. You see, we should have stayed broadcasting on Friday mornings just before church. That was it was much better.
So Daniel Sunday puts a aubergine emoji, and I can only imagine that means he wants us to get our vegetables, fruit and vegetables.
So he's not wanting us to be sponsored by shortbread or any similar products. He would prefer to be sponsored by fruit and veg.
Yes, of course. Shortbread's bad for you.
Are aubergines the same as zucchinis?
No.
No, they're the same as eggplants.
It's, yeah. A zucchini's a courgette.
This is great. I'm learning so much tonight.
We should do a cooking show with the Gorms.
We could. If James May can do one, surely we can do one.
Well, if the lockdown goes, why not?
Porridge with the Gorms.
Porridge with the Gorms.
Like every different ways of making porridge. You know, you can put salt on it. You can put chicken salt on it. You can put
honey, or
a little bit of hot sauce, some sugar if you're English, and you can. So that's 4 episodes we could do of that.
This is lining up. We should probably be saving this for a private conversation, of course. You know, don't give the game away. But our Hitchcock style's getting thrown out here.
Yeah. Right, let me go back and see what people are saying. Chris Warham, question: if you guys made a baby together, what would you call it, and what would its special powers be?
What would we make it out of?
Well, just a sort of test tube thing out of all 3 of us.
But is it not more fun to stick different things together? If it's going to have special powers, it may as well look cool.
I mean, that's how babies work, Duncan. It'd be 3 things stuck together, I suppose.
Well, 3 of us, how else is it going to work?
It would be wise, it would be mature for its age, and it would be
Thank you.
Rich. And those would be the 3 qualities.
Special powers.
And its name would be Christian.
Bale.
The second.
Yeah. Because he's our favourite film star.
No, it's Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah, forgot.
Which one of us would take? I would obviously be I'd be the mother figure.
Of course.
Raise it at my teat. But which one of the 2 of you would take it to the park? And Christian, come on, Christian, with a whistle. You know?
Duncan would do that.
Come on, Christian, come on.
I suppose I could manage that. But do I have to affect an accent, or can I just use my normal voice?
Christian, come on, Christian. That's how people speak to children. And Jack would be busy. He'd be busy earning money for us.
Exactly.
The hunter-gatherer.
Selling drugs at the back of the AstroTurf. A great question, and we welcome more questions like that. Thank you very much, Christopher Warham. Just gives you a little flavour. He was in the British Army, by the way, folks.
And Daniel Sunday's put an emoji of a UFO. So he's getting into that chat that we've got today about the aliens.
Sure, Daniel. And Daniel, he was Reutlingen, wasn't he?
He was, indeed.
Do you remember when Reutlingen was invaded by the giant insects?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah, that was amazing. I'm surprised we're all still alive.
I wish I could just pull the photos up here on the fly, but unfortunately
it was like
not.
that.
Oh, I like that, what you did there.
That classic film, Them, I believe.
So let me see.
Just me. Never mind.
Let me see what else we've got here. Chris Warham, I will taste your tartan, he says.
An old Scottish saying.
And someone even replied to that with an emoji. Logan James put a shocked face, like a wow. And
I wish the Swedish girls would come back and speak to us about this sort of stuff. So.
Helen Overgaard says,
"Thank you, Helen. Thank you. Less of these."
Someone talking some sense at last. She says, "Shortbread goes so well with whiskey." Indeed,
I would agree with that. But everything goes well with whiskey.
And we are in no way paid
especially
to
more whiskey.
say that you should have shortbreads, apart from with that ad.
Where's Helen from?
Bergen. We've already discussed that.
In Norway.
In Norway, yes. Remember,
been
we
there.
played.
We went there.
Yes, we did. We did.
And
Can you remember much about it?
I can remember a great deal about it. Yeah, I remember that there was no bin men. Instead, all the bins, you put them in a bin, and then they were sucked like a hoover through the mountain. Did I make that? That's not real, is it? Is that real?
Yeah, no,
Sounds like science fiction, but it's
under
real.
the streets. I don't know if it goes through a mountain as such, but yeah, all the
Maybe
rubbish
a
gets
dream
sucked
I had.
underneath.
I had a dream last night that 7 sparrowhawks came and snatched up 7 birds. What does that mean?
That means
don't
that
know.
the stream is going to go really well.
You'll have 7 good streams followed by 7 terrible streams.
7 years of bad streams.
So save up the good material.
Ken Longfellow says, I made and ate 2 batches of shortbread on Burns night, washed down with the Balvenie sherry cask. My arteries now creak if my pulse goes up. Well, Ken, it's always time for shortbread, especially Burns night.
You're a young man, Ken.
I've still got a whole, or not a whole, I've got half a Swede left over from Burns night. It's taken forever to get through it.
No comment.
A turnip, got you.
No, a Swede. A turnip's slightly smaller.
And do you have any neeps left?
I got loads, aye. It's going to take me forever. to get them.
Tatties, I mean. That.
Oh, aye. And haggis as well.
Yeah.
Eating haggis, neeps and tatties for yet another week, I think, at this moment.
Well, the lines are lighting up. Have we got any more callers just now, or should we go over to a lovely...
We got more.
We're kind of still on some of these topics. Caroline Lee Smith's asking you, Stewart, is does shortbread count as a UFO, an unidentified food object? What's your answer?
There was a big debate about that for a long time. It was based on I forget the chap's name now, but he claimed that he had worked briefly in the large American secret base. What's it called again, Jack?
Area
Roswell.
51.
Area 51.
Is it Roswell?
That's right. Yeah, Roswell Area 51. And he claimed that when he was in there, he had gone into one of the rooms and he'd seen them doing some sort of experiment with shortbread. But the shortbread was of earthly origin.
I think,
to the best of
think
his knowledge. I think there's what was that? There's a famous podcast about it with Joe Rogan, I think. So.
Was it at any point unidentified though? Was it flying about and they didn't know what it was before they figured out it was shortbread?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we'd have the time to get into that. Just now,
I hear the only thing I know.
I've bought shortbread. I'm sorry, Jack. I've bought shortbread, especially around the Christmas period. You'll see these big boxes of shortbread, and when you open it up, what? No. I mean, like this is off-label. I don't want to name any shops, but a famous, popular shop which sells things for £1, and you always feel like you can stretch the price of the pound. You'll go into there and you'll find these unusual boxes of shortbread, which are available for a very low price at Christmas time. And if you eat several of them, you start to notice that there's actually a difference in taste between the different ones. Not just the shape, because obviously some are like pies and some are long fingers and what have you, and some have a wee thistle on them. And that would definitely be a case of like unidentified shortbread, where you're not entirely sure if it is the same shortbread that you're dealing with there.
Well,
I mean, I am going to be launching a series, which we will host at some point, which will be going in detail on the shortbread. But at the moment, the funding behind it just isn't there, so we'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for the question.
Well, I
hope you're happy with the answer.
We, as humans, actually share 90% of our DNA with shortbread.
Well-known fact, that.
And there you go. You learn something every day.
So really, by eating shortbread, you're a cannibal?
Yeah. Malta Kammerling, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you again. Says mince pie was delicious, but difficult to come by outside of Scotland. I didn't know that. I thought you could just get mince pie everywhere. No? Are you guys aware of that?
I haven't seen many mince pies in other places.
What's a mince pie?
A pie with mince in it.
It's not a Scotch pie. A mince pie has.
Well, what are we talking
dried
about? Mince
fruit.
Pies? Oh, right, that. Is that what you're talking about now?
I thought mince pie was Christmas time.
All right, okay, so a Scotch pie then.
I don't know. I'm saying what was in the comments.
All
it
right,
says a
what was
mince
that?
pie.
Well, Malta, for goodness sakes, you confused Jack enough already whether you're a man or a woman. And that's over a year now that's been going on. And now you're throwing out these wild accusations regarding fruit and mince. So thank you very much for your input, Malta, as always.
Let me just say that topic about, UFOs and shortbread has just made Chris Riley send us £20. Thank you so much, Chris.
Cheers, man.
That's amazing. Right, okay. What about playing a tune?
Oh, hang on.
Is it time to play a tune?
That's a good idea.
What were you going to do?
No.
Are there more comments?
Keep the shortbread coming.
There are more.
Questions coming.
Daniel Sunday's saying that, first of all, shortbread is heavenly, which is quite correct. And he's also
Yes, it is,
saying
Daniel.
that we have to go back to Reutlingen for the dinosaur invasion. That sounds like fun.
That sounds a bit like Jurassic Park.
Aye.
Ever
Sounds
seen that
nothing
film?
like Jurassic Park.
What
What was your favourite dinosaur in Jurassic Park, Jack?
Well, the raptor is probably the scariest.
It's actually a
The raptor.
Deinonychus.
This T-Rex
Isn't it
is
a
probably
raptor?
the coolest one, and then the one that spits on the guy
Spitter.
with the fins.
Yeah.
But apparently that never happened. They didn't spit on anyone.
That was like the director's cut or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Dennis Nedry, wasn't it? Was his name?
Was
Oh, I don't know.
from Seinfeld.
Ha ha ha. You didn't say the magic word.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
One of my favourite films of all time, that Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, sorry, I was getting
Yeah.
confused.
This-
Okay, sorry, more comments? Or
Duncan, any more?
There are. Sophia Lander's laughing.
Sophia!
How you
Fantastic, there we are.
David Lee
Skull.
Smith. Them classic movie. Oh, that was we were talking about them ages ago. And the giant ants. There you go. Eating shortbread at the same time.
Whoa.
Watching
just-
them.
We seem somehow managed to be getting all the subjects together that we've talked about and just mash them into one as this conversation goes on.
Any more?
Oh, yeah, I've just been corrected. It's Lee Smith, not what did I say?
Lay.
Oh, sorry, Lee Smith, as in J and B.
All right. Sorry about that.
Sorry,
A job's worth, eh?
but it's his own name. To be fair,
Yep. You should have a name like Jack Weir. It's easy to say and pronounce. No.
it's not necessarily easy to spell though.
Well, thank you, Lee or Lay. Any more comments, Duncan? Move on.
Yeah, we've got
Getting awkward here.
unidentified finger of oats.
Whoa.
So we're developing from shortbread to oats now. And Eileen Mullins asking, when you dream of the Sparrowhawk, you are dreaming of making a significant breakthrough in your life, allegedly. So there you go. You're 7 Sparrowhawks. You've got 7 significant breakthroughs.
Well, as the Pharaoh, you are hired as my new minister, and your family is welcome to come to the Hutchison Bothy. Interpreter of dreams.
Any more?
Ken Longfellow says mince pie is a sweet, so we've got that sorted. It's not a Scotch pie.
It is.
Malta,
Ken Longfellow, a man you can trust.
a man you can trust. Malta Kemmerling has seems to have apologised after you berated. So
Don't
you
apologise.
should feel terrible, Mr. Cook. People are actually
Me?
apologising to you now.
Don't apologise to me, Malta. Don't apologise to anyone. Jack, though, may apologise to you whenever he feels like it. But I wouldn't count on it.
Alex Ellenson says, "Hello, boys. Best wishes from Switzerland."
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Sophia Lander says, "Skal, Skal,
Skal."
And
Cool.
Chris is back. Says, "Hollywood fact: all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were played by Andy Serkis, as was the Jeep."
Right.
Interesting.
And so was Sam Neill.
Played back in the circus. The one of the Jeeps that was featured in Jurassic Park actually used to be in the northeast of Scotland for a while. It was parked near Dramoke. I believe it was the Ashbrook family who had purchased several of the props. And there was a time, I suppose, in the early 1990s, where if you were traveling around Aberdeen to visit the Trinity Centre, perhaps, or go to the bookmakers, you would be surprised, but eventually you'd accept to see one of the Jeeps from Jurassic Park, one of the vehicles, like a Humvee or a Range Rover, I can't remember what it was. It would actually be driving about with all the Jurassic Park logos on it. So. Andy Serkis. That was Andy Serkis.
What happened to him?
To Andy Serkis.
He got bored driving about Dramoke.
I think he went to the forest of Monymusk and there was set upon by 7 English foresters.
Oh, that's a good way to introduce a song that we do.
That's some segue.
That we sing. It is it. That's that. He's dropped his microphone. Oh no.
So this next song is off our second album again, and it's called Jock O'Bradysley. And it's just about what was referred to there. Let's hear it.
It's Duncan's favourite song.
On the road to Sweeneth, hi hurrow.
I'd like.
Johnny got up on a May morning, called for water to wash his hands. Says, "Get loose to me, my twa grey ducks that lie in irons, bands that lie in iron bands." Well, Johnny's mither, she heard o' this, her arms for Duncan way. Says, "Johnny, for your venison, to the greenwood dinny gang, to the greenwood dinny gang." But Johnny has got his good ben bow, his arrows are one by one, and he's awa to the greenwood gang, to ding the Dundeer Doon, to ding the Dundeer Doon. Well, Johnny shot and the Dundeer leapt, he wounded her in the side, and there between the water and the woods the greyhounds laid her pride, the greyhounds laid her pride. Oh, they ate so much o' the venison, they drank so much o' the blood, that Johnny and his twa grey ducks, they fell asleep as though were deed fell asleep as though were dead. Well then by their cam a silly old man, and ill death may he die, for he's awa to Esselmont, the 7 foresters for to see the foresters for to see. Well, as I came in by morning musk, down among young scrogs, well, there I saw the bonniest youth lying sleeping atween twa ducks lying sleeping atween twa ducks. The buttons that were upon his sleeve, they were the goats good. The twa greyhounds that he lay between, their moos were dyed with blood, their moos were dyed with blood. Well then up and jumps the first forester, he was captain of them all. He says if that be Jock or Bredesley, then unto him we'll draw, then unto him we'll draw. Well, the first shot that the foresters fired, it hit Johnny on his knee. Aye, the second shot that the foresters fired, his heart's blood spillin' by day, his heart's blood spillin' by day. So then up jumps Johnny, fell to sleep, and an angry man was he. He's singing, oh, I tell you what can me fame asleep. Hear my heart's blood spillin' by day, my heart's blood spillin' by day. So he's rest his back against an oak, his arm upon a stane, and he has fired at the 7 of them. He's killed them all, but ten, he's killed them all, but 10. He's broken twa of that one's ribs, his arm and his collar vein, and he has set him upon his horse with a tidings sent him, the tidings sent him. But Johnny's good bend bow is broke, his twa grey dugs lie slain, and his body lies in Money Musk. His hunting days are dane, his hunting days are dane.
But it was around about that time that I thought there's absolutely no way that I'm going to allow anyone to put that anywhere near me. Well, are we back? Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the Gorms live stream. If you just tuned in, we are three brothers who used to play music in the olden days in places that were known as pubs, where people used to convene together. And BC, I like that. Is that before coronavirus?
Uh-huh.
That's great, Jack. So, but yeah, BC, we were three brothers. We still are. Used to play music together in some of the pubs around Edinburgh, but we have been estranged for quite a long time due to some of the restrictions. We live in a place called Scotland, which is one of the up-and-coming nations of the civilized world. Formerly the world leaders in education for children, but of recent years we slipped away, but we're fighting back, okay? So my name is Stewart. Below me is...
above you.
Is above me. And above me is...
Duncan.
It is Duncan. Oh, Jack. Duncan Jack. How you doing, Duncan Jack?
I'm doing very well. I'd like to announce that David Lee Smith just sent us £15. Thank you very much, David.
Cheers, man.
That is much appreciated.
David Lee Smith, you are now my favourite David Lee, and my David Lee Roth poster will be moved down one echelon.
Well, I only like the Sammy Hagar era anyway, so...
Thank you, David. Means an awful lot, man. Really appreciate that.
So, Ken Longfellow says, lovely, the voice of an angel. Cheers, Ken. Well, I'm sure he's talking about you, Stu.
You think so? That's the nicest thing you've said about me in history, Jack.
Although, on the other hand, Chris Riley says the tone on that solo is unreal. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris.
I did a wee guitar solo in that song. I kind of let my hair down, as they say. Applause to the... Yeah. Helen says, applause to the guitar solo. Thank you, Helen. Much appreciated.
Stop hand-picking these comments, Jack.
Cheers, Helen. You can send the money to the separate PayPal for me. And,
to the VIPs.
Yeah.
VIPs.
And that's it. VIPs, yeah.
Well, there's a...
The Norwegian PayPal.
We have a black love heart. I don't know what that means, but is it like... Is it good?
Is that from Helen?
A black heart. Federica Mirisola. Thank you very much, Federica. And a black heart goes to you. So I hope everyone's enjoying this so far.
I'm having a
good Friday night.
Yeah.
So man, it's great.
It does remind me a little bit of the old days. We used to get together every Friday night and go and play music and drink. Not usually wine, it has to be said, but we did drink a fair amount.
Well, anything that was going, really.
I have to say, I actually enjoy this more because before BC, we had to see each other every night and play music.
Almost every night, not every night.
And I enjoy this. I enjoy this more. I now look forward to your company on a Friday, Duncan, and your company on a Friday, Jack.
Makes it more special.
Yeah, take from that what you will.
Cheers, brother. We love you
so
too.
that last track there, Jocko Bradersley.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's your favourite. It takes place in the forest of Monymusk. I was actually in the forest of Monymusk just 5 days ago. I went up for a walk up Benahee, which is a mountain that we have in Scotland. It's not the tallest mountain, I don't think, but it could be. It's very tall. But it's next to Monymusk Forest, and I went for a walk up there. And in the song that we were singing to you there, a beautiful voice was singing to you, and there's some noodling on guitar.
What happened to that beautiful voice?
Too much walking up Benahee. But in the song, the young chap who is accosted, Jocko Bradersley, he's in the forest at Monymusk, and the old man that comes past him then travels to Esselmont. Now, it took me 5 days, because I'm very slow, to walk from my start point, which was, let me see, very close to, let me see, the best place to give you would be the Cairnamount, probably. So from Fettercairn to Huntly. It took 5 days to walk via Monymusk Forest over over Benihee. And Esselmont is about 20 miles out of the way. So the suggestion in that song is that a man walked through Monymusk Forest, and then immediately he decided, well, because I've seen this guy, I'm going to rush off to Esselmont and tell the foresters about what's going on. That would have taken him, I don't know, at least 2 days, maybe a day on horseback to get there, but there's no chance the guy would have still been sleeping when they came back. But that explanation for why that took place is the song was actually written about 100 years after the events are supposedly to have happened. And the song was written on the west coast of Scotland. It's actually thought to be written near what is Port of Glasgow now. So I can imagine, I just wanted to preempt, I'm sure there would have been a lot of comments coming in there about sort of inaccuracies in the geography. As you know, my geography is pretty good. My brothers keep me right about Alaska and Washington State and stuff like that. So I hope that cleared up any questions they might have had, just to try and nip them in the bud. Because more questions regarding the lovely singing would be great, but questions about the geography, not too important, or questions about the guitar playing and pussy playing and bagpipes. So.
I preferred the song.
And that was longer than the song.
You don't mind if I smoke, do you?
Well, this is technically a workplace,
man. Don't make me breathe that stuff in from all the way over the internet.
You don't mind if I smoke, do you?
No, carry on.
Well, we do have a couple of comments, but none of them are questions about that specific thing. Federica says, always use the black one. Well, Federica, that's good. Chris Swarum says, as professional musicians, if you had to cut off 2 fingers to save your life, which fingers would you cut off?
Good question. Great question.
I would cut off Stu's thumbs.
I'm okay with that. Great question. Good answer.
Maybe either my ring finger or my pinky, but probably the pinky.
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah. I mean, I use them a lot, but they're actually maybe the ring finger. Because you wouldn't be able to get those stretchies if you didn't have a pinky. With guitar, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there's only... I could... one pinky and one thumb. Left pinky and right thumb, and I could still play the pipes.
Did you ever watch that television program about the man who had his nose replaced with his willy?
Is that not Dumbo you're thinking of?
It could have been.
The Elephant Man.
I don't think it was.
Oh, John Merrick? No.
Because the sinus fluid, you'd think, well, just use a finger. Just cut a finger off. But he wasn't a guitarist. That wasn't the reason they didn't do it. They used his willy for his nose because of the nose, the fluids and all that.
Right.
So I hope that answers the question.
What question?
It was something about your
Which
fingers,
part we want to cut off? Which finger?
Fingers.
Anything but the willy.
Daniel Spee says, just tuned in, guys. Cheers, Daniel. And glad you could join us. I mean, you've missed a lot of really, really important discussion.
The meaning of life, stuff like that.
Yeah. And
thank you, Daniel. Where are you from, Daniel? Let us know.
And Helen says, hi from Paul as well. Cheers, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Glad you could make it.
Thank you, Paul.
I hope the fish farm's going well.
And Ken says, cut off your pinkies. The Yakuza are searching for a man like you, Jack.
Yeah, but not for that reason.
No, just in general.
Just in general, they're searching for
him. So are we feeling time for another song?
Aye, I'd like another.
It depends what song it's going to be.
Well, we're moving on to a couple of tracks from the next era, the third album, and we've got some Burns coming up, which is A Man's a Man. For all that.
For all that.
That's going to be our next one.
That's your favorite song, Duncan, right?
I like that one.
A man's a man for all that. Robbie Burns. I can't get enough of Burns. You should probably play the track and then I'll rant to you about Robert Burns.
That hangs his heed, and that the coward slave would pass him by. We dare be poor for all that, and all that. Our toils obscure, and all that. The rank is but the Guinness stamp. The man's the gowd for all that. What though unhamely fair we dine, with hand grave and all that. He folds their silks, knaves their wine. A man's a man for all that, for all that, and all that. Their tinsel show, and all that. The honest man, though e'er sipper, is king of men, for all that. You see on Barkey Carolord, was roots and states, and all that. Though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a cuff, for all that. For all that, and all that. His ribbon star, and all that. The man of independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. A prince can mag a belted knight, a man who is shook, and all that. But an honest man's upon his plight, good fate him all before that. For all that, and all that. Their dignities, and all that. The pathos, sense, and pride of worth, a higher rank than all that. Oh, let us pray that come it may, as come it will, for all that. That sense and worth, or this earth, shall bear the grave, and all that. For all that, and all that. It's coming yet, for all that. When man to man the world o'er, shall brothers be, for all that.
That was special. I enjoyed that. Not the best version I've heard, but I probably picked that up. Where can I buy a copy of that song?
Well, you can go to Bandcamp.
This is exactly where you go.
The Gorms at Bandcamp. The Gorms.bandcamp.com, I think.
It's a website.
It's one of these newfangled HTTP sites.
Great. Okay, I'll check it out then. And how much would it cost to buy that track?
I think it's £7 for the download or £10 for the album or the CD, which I have a big box of down there.
Can you buy it by the track?
I think you can. I think it's £1 a track. So
£1
every little bit helps.
The problem is, I'd love to listen to that track. You know, maybe not too much over the course of the weekend, but I'd like to listen to it, you know, maybe once a week or something. How much would that cost me?
Well, once you pay your £1, that's you sorted for life.
It's only £1 and you can listen to it over and over again.
Yeah.
That's a great deal. We should advertise whoever's recording those tracks.
We should. It's a band called the Gorms. You should check them out. So we just got sent £15 by Malta Kammerling again, and he's supporting us again. So thank you very much. That's very appreciated.
Appreciate Malta. We'll see. I hope we see you soon. I
really do. And I'm just quickly opening up this again because we got. Can't remember if I said this earlier, but we got money from. Just wait till this loads up here. It's what you get when you're running loads of programs at once.
I've been having a run of good luck.
Oh, I did. David Lee Smith. Thank you.
I've been having a run of good luck, folks, on the stock exchange just this past couple of days, and I've got a bit of a bug. I got the bite for it, you know. So if any of you have any recommendations for the Royal Rumble, which is taking place this weekend, then please let us know. There is, of course, the big showdown between Bill and Andrew, the sort of classic royal family showdown of William and Andrew. Any suggestion is more than welcome. I always back the loser, so I'd appreciate a hot tip if you have one. Put it in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe.
Well,
is that right, Jack? Is that good?
That is right.
Speaking of the comments, we did have a question from Chris Riley. Which Corey would win a fight to the death? And well, given that one of them is already dead, as Morven points out,
rest in peace.
It would probably have to be Ronnie. He's the only one still alive.
I'd agree.
You go with Ronnie?
Yeah, but okay, so he says, but imagine Ronnie dies and there's some kind of Night in the Living Corey scenario. So we've gone zombie Corey now.
Okay.
Well, that's just disrespectful.
Oh, okay, well that's the answer to that then.
I have a sneaking feeling that a battle. I mean, quite often in my head, I play through the Killiecrankie video. If you haven't watched it already, the Corey's playing Killiecrankie. It's an absolute.
It's a belter.
I don't want to say it's a belter. No, we can't promote that. It's a very good song. And because of the black and white footage, you know, so much of what we get dosed with these days tends to be like black and white, carefully scripted footage that we're allowed to watch of like old things, but like South Korea, I think they do the same sort of thing. So I imagine if they were to have a battle, it would encompass an awful lot of stuff. I would see the devastation of Edinburgh. You'd probably be looking at, if you remember, as most of us do, if you remember the sort of devastation that was wrought upon Edinburgh in the 16th century by the two conquests and demolitions of King Henry VIII when he came up to Edinburgh, blew the city up to such an extent the English soldiers couldn't breathe because the smoke was so thick in the air. I'd imagine it would be like that. And I think at the end of it, I think Henry VIII would probably turn to his viceroy, second in command, and say, right, we have to retreat. They'd walk down the road, they'd get to Holyrood Abbey. In those days, they would see the Holyrood. Henry VIII would throw the Holyrood in the ground, he'd burn it, say, forget that, Scottish history, laughing. And he would cackle his way back down to Westminster like the bastard that he is. And all that would be left standing would be a shining beacon of beautiful white hair. And next to it, holding a guitar, would be the shrewd and wise face. I think it'd be a stalemate. It would be a battle to a stalemate.
Clash of the Titans.
I don't think the world
Godzilla versus Kong.
I don't think the world's big enough to hold it. I think the world would be destroyed, and the small section of rock that's left, which would probably be Scotland, would be hurtling through. I don't know what's beyond this world, but ad infinitum, you know, parallel galaxies probably. Whatever's up there, clockwork maybe beyond the atmosphere, or maybe just flatness beyond the ice wall. And beyond that would just be an eternal sort of these two guys holding on to each other, hockey punching each other, like that great fight that took place in Japan, the Pride fight between Dan Severn and I wish I could remember his name. A wonderful fight. I mean, I've got the Royal Rumble in my head there, so for me it's endless. It would be like when The Rock and it wasn't John Cena. It was maybe Dave Bautista. They went over the Royal Rumble last, and they both landed with their feet on the ground at the same time. That's the best answer I can give you. And I put a lot of thought into that. I was actually thinking about it during the song. So.
I don't think I can give a better answer than that.
No, me neither.
Helen.
That was Chris, right?
It was Chris.
That's okay.
It was Chris.
Helen of Regard just sent us £15. Thank you so much, Helen. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us talking mince, pure mince, as the ad says. Any more comments?
Yep. Cynthia West Long says, saw you for the first time at Bobby Barnes' bar. And Ken Longfellow says, do not bet against Meghan Markle, Stu. Don't do it.
So on that note, I think we're going to play another song for you. This is one by the great Lady Nairn. It's called Will You No Come Back Again?
Oh, good choice, man.
Shirley's new awa, safely o'er the friendly main. Murray's the heart with brack and twa, should he no come back again? Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose ye can't be. Will you no come back again? They trusted you, your healing men. You trusted them, brave Shirley. They kent your hiding in the glen. Oh, death and exile braving. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose ye can't be. Will ye no come back again? English bribes were all in vain. The put away ho is poor. Silver doesn't by the heart. Let's beat an eye for the mat. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose ye can't be. Will ye no come back again? They watched you in the morning hour. Oh, they watched you in the loaming grave. £30,000 reward, but for a prince none would betray. Now will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose ye can't be. Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? Will ye no come back again? But I'll lose ye can't be. Will ye no come back again?
Well, this song comes from a long, long time ago, much older than any of those songs we've been playing for you already. A few of Edinburgh's top spelunkers, they were spelunking quite recently. In fact, some of those spelunkers I mentioned, they're actually playing on this record you're listening to at the moment. And we thank you for that, we do. Anyway, they were under what's called the Castle Rock, which is a big hill in the middle of Edinburgh. And they were spelunking hard, all the group of them, and they found what appears to be a cave painting. Now, you'd have to guess 5,000 BC. Just as a guess, 5,000 BC is probably when we date this one to, which would mean it was written perhaps by a Votadini, a Verdoni tribesman. Now, what it says, it's hard when you've got to translate these things, but luckily I am an expert in translating old Pictish symbols, so I've come up with what I believe to be quite an accurate interpretation of this old painting. Now, it appears that the whole thing is a story, or a bit of a song, that was scribbled on what may have been an ancient urinal back under Castle Rock. And it translates very roughly as, Jonathan, you are drunk, or Johnny, you're an alcoholic, or something along those lines. But we've decided to go with Johnny, be drunk. And it appears that the song was written by a fellow called Charles Berry. Not a very common name, but perhaps some distant ancestor of a slightly lesser-known member of the Berry family. I hope you enjoy this one.
Okay, is that it then? Because I was really hoping to hear Johnny be drunk.
I love that introduction, and especially given the comic value of it not being followed by the song it introduced.
Well, here's a tip for people, bands or artists that want to compile albums. When you put an introduction to the following song at the end of the previous song, it causes problems like that, and you end up playing them back, and it makes no sense. So
Delamitri's new record is not going to.
Well, they are doing that. I like that, but that's a signature style of me as a producer.
Look, we're about to have our UFO watch. It starts quite fairly briefly. I'm not sure if Chris Warham's going to make it up here in time. Is there any comments came in? I know we
just got sent £50 by Cynthia Long, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate that.
That's amazing, Cynthia. I appreciate that.
And she says, love it. And Daniel Spee says, maybe a random question, but what happened to your fourth member? Well, we've had a kind of revolving door outside of our three members. Rachel's really busy. She's a really good musician, and she has got her other bands, and we were playing so much that she didn't have time really to do so many gigs. And then the other guys have been kind of... Lately, we've had a banjo player called Dominic and a accordion player called Archie when we do, tours and bigger gigs.
Back in the day when we were...
And they're on the new album.
We had Jed Potts used to play with us as well.
Yeah, Jed Potts used to play, and we had Cam. He played fiddle before Rachel. Grant Simpson used to play. Grant from what's the name of his group again?
North Sea Gas.
His group, but the group he plays with, North Sea Gas.
North Sea Gas.
We had a few guests over the years, but Rachel she's remained one of our good friends for a long time.
Craig McFadgen as well, obviously, please.
Craig McFadgen, don't give him too much credit. He's too successful and famous for us. Nigel Kennedy, I suppose we could say he's part of the band as well. In fact, we should maybe put on the video with Nigel Kennedy at some point. That would be a good...
I thought you were going to say we should do it now. I'm not set up to do that.
I think tune in next week and we'll show you that video. When was it? We did that.
That was about 9 years ago.
We were lucky enough to manage to ply Nigel Kennedy with enough drink to get him to come on stage with us. It was awesome.
You spent the night with him before. Well, not in a bad way.
Not in that way, but I spent most of the night with him.
But to answer the question, if you're looking for like the fourth member of the band, for what I think 2 records, it was basically Rachel, but she has a couple of really good groups that she's on our new record as well. If when that comes out, which is going to be, I guess, in a month, maybe 2 at the max, then you'll be able to hear Rachel playing again. But she has what's the name of her group? Duale, and
they've got a new album out. Check it out.
And Wayward Jane as well.
Yeah.
So she's doing great. Rachel's doing absolutely excellent. She plays an awful lot in Edinburgh when the pubs are open, and next time you're across, you'll be able to find Rachel playing sometimes in the captain's bar. But if you look up those two bands, then you'll definitely be able to find where she is. And we usually go along and listen to her play and do our best to not be loud, drunk, and happy. So we might even see you there. But these days, when we're playing, when we have the opportunity to have all 5 members of the band, then we have a chap called Dominic, who is along with us playing banjo. Sometimes he plays fiddle. He's a bit of a drunkard, to be honest with you. And we got a chap called Archie who plays accordion. Sometimes he's a bit of a drunkard as well. So
on the subject of Archie, he's actually featured on the next song we're going to play. And it's a song... Well, before I say that, Sarah...
You said that already.
No, I haven't said this one. Sarah Krasinowski sent us £10.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. Krasinowski from where?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't for you, Jack.
Thank you so much, Sarah. But yeah, Archie, our accordion player, he was kind enough to participate in this next video, which was done during the first lockdown, which seems so long ago, but also like yesterday.
Almost a year now, eh?
Yeah, everything's been a blur since then. So these videos took a lot of time to get together, and this is a song called The Tortoise, which is written by a guy called Ed Pickford. Kind of like a comedy song, and
made famous by Bill Hill.
Yeah, and the Corries, they did a version of it,
and us.
Well, of course.
Or maybe we didn't make it famous.
The definitive version. So what is that on your shoulder, Duncan?
It's Gormy. If you haven't been introduced already, this is our mascot Gormy, who we got from friends in Germany, Karen and Ruth. And he sits next to me and watches me play Xbox for 8 hours a day.
What are you playing on Xbox, then? Can you play in Cyberpunk 2077?
I haven't played that, no. I heard it was terrible.
I think if you've got an old one, it is.
An old what?
Like an old Xbox.
Oh, right.
Not the new one.
I don't have an Xbox. I just borrow the one that lives in the flat.
So let's hear, for you folks that are sitting at home, please tune in and enjoy a lovely track, a bit of spice, bit of fun, bit of religious stuff. Yeah. The Tortoise.
Just a lonely tortoise looking for a home. His tiny feet were blistered from the miles he had to roam. I saw him in the pet shop, on his cheek there was a tear, and painted on his little shell 20 pence to clear. He's a faithful friend, the tortoise, he'll love you till the end. And you won't need a person with a tortoise for a friend. I took him from the pet shop, tied to a piece of string. I'm sure that he was happy, for I thought I heard him sing. I took him to my sports car, we had many a mile to go. I tied him to the bumper, he was grateful for the tow. He's a faithful friend, the tortoise, he'll love you till the end. And you won't need a person with a tortoise for a friend. In winter, we would hibernate, oh yes, we'd both retire. And when his little feet got cold, I'd place him on the fire. In summer by the swimming pool, I was so proud of him.
I'd throw him in, and he would sink. I don't think he could swim. He's a faithful friend, the tortoise. He'll love you till the end. And you won't need a person with a tortoise for a friend. During COVID lockdown, we would both wear our masks. I wear the N95, he wears a plastic bag. When we go to Asda, I stand beside the door. One shopper per household, he can carry more. He's a faithful friend with tortoise, he'll love you till the end. You won't need a person with a tortoise for a friend. Then came the day that's coming to all creatures great and small. A drunken driver hit my friend and smashed him against the wall. We all gathered round and picked up his broken bits of shell. We made them into plectrums, we know our plectrums well. Faithful friend, the tortoise, he'll love you till the end. You won't need a person with a tortoise for a friend.
Gormy!
He goes to countdown.
There we go.
Ah, the tortoise.
The tortoise.
A friend like no other.
He'll love you till the end. I wouldn't advise throwing him in a swimming pool, really.
And that brings us to the end, I think. Was that the last track for this evening? We're going to make way for Alan Partridge now, right?
That was our last track. And I'd just like to say thank you to Sophia Lander for sending us £10.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, Sophia.
Cheers, Sophia.
Skål. Skål. Skål.
So let's go maybe to our last couple of comments before we log off for the day. Cynthia West Long says, love it. Ken Longfellow says, each stream with you gents is like an hour in history class. I always come away much better informed.
Yeah.
I don't sense any sarcasm there at all. And Daniel Spee says, thanks for sharing, guys. I asked because I listened to Legend, Lore and Lost Weekend album in my car a lot and it features Rachel, but I never saw her in any of the live streams or live. Yeah, well, there's your explanation. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoy that album. And Cynthia West Long says, wonderful music. Thanks. Cheers, Cynthia. So I think we're reaching the end of our live stream tonight.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you gents as ever. And going through some of these older songs that we haven't, given that we haven't had a chance to play.
We're forgetting how to play our instruments.
So I guess, are we going to make this a regular thing at the moment?
I think we are. Next Friday. We still have a new album that's we've been promising you since
time began.
Since time began.
Recorded
since
history.
BC. So we do have that finished. We do have artwork for it. It's coming. Stay tuned. We've also got some more videos to show you of stuff I've done in the past and more mints to talk about.
You might get some more silly ads as well. You never know.
Aye. These have been fun. Maybe we can make a compilation of them at some point.
Yeah.
And that'll be the stream. An hour long session of nonsense adverts.
Well, I look forward to it, man. If I get any updates from the the viewings tonight, I'll let you know about it. But otherwise, I'm going to tune out, guys. It's been a pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you very much, everyone, for your comments and all your support as well.
Let me just quickly get these. Let me just quickly get the last comments. Ken Longfellow, well done, guys. Helen says, thanks from here as well. Cheers, Helen. Daniel Spee, I have it on repeat here. Have no other equipment to play CDs. Haha. And cheers, thanks, gents. Be well. Daniel Sunday. And Helen says yes.
Yes.
So that's amazing, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks a lot.
And I hope you'll continue to tune in every Friday from now on. Till eternity. For all eternity.
On a flight, unidentified flying shortbread.
We're going to run out of music to play eventually, but hey, we've got a while to go yet.
Until the next time, folks, we'll see you next Friday. All the best, stay safe, and enjoy yourselves the best you can. Be good yourselves. Don't trust anyone, not even yourself.